Welcome back, you beautiful Bravehearts, to the Doc of Detox show. I'm Dr. Darryl Wolf, and today's show is called New World Health Live Q&A. Now, what do I mean by New World Health? Oh, well, here's the deal. You better stop going for treatment, and you better get trained, okay? So as long as you continually go for treatment, you'll remain a patient. As soon as you decide that you want to be trained, then you'll become your own practitioner. Until you become your own practitioner, you'll never find your authentic self or be in charge of your mind or that beautiful body, okay, that beautiful body of yours. And understand something. Until you get trained to do it, it's never going to get done. You know what? Oh, thanks, doctor. Thanks for curing me. There is no cures, okay? The only cure is called the perfect day, and you repeat it every day for 10,000 days. And then guess what? You own it for the rest of your life, okay? So I always tell people that if you want to create a really strong, powerful belief, you got to do it 10,000 times. And then you're going to go, well, that seems insane. Gosh, to do something 10,000 times, I'd be insane. Yeah, well, what about breathing? What about smiling? What about laughing? What about loving? Okay, what about eating properly? Okay, what about treating yourself properly? What about treating others properly? But you can't treat others properly until you treat yourself properly. So good luck with that one, because most of the population will never be able to pull this off. Most of the population is never going to pull it off. Most of the population will never experience unconditional, total love for themselves, so they'll never do it for anybody else. And there you go. And don't ask yourself why you have a dysfunctional relationship. Okay, so most people are usually good at one thing. Oh my God, my relationship is everything, but I'm really terrible at my job. Okay, and financially, I can't make any money. Okay, or I love the people with the poverty consciousness. Well, Dr. Wolf, we should all be rich like you. We should all be abundant. Well, meanwhile, I don't know if you saw my one a day, but I continually spend money to try to get the word out. And you know what? If I didn't have abundant thinking, I wouldn't have a studio. A Gad wouldn't be working for me. Sean wouldn't be working for me. I wouldn't be able to dump $100,000 into a resort. I wouldn't have been able to dump $40,000 into a resort to have the internet here so that everybody can come here and be able to work online and live here. So that's the deal. So the reality is don't blame me for your poverty thinking. Don't blame me for your dis-ease. And don't blame yourself either, okay? Because most of us are unconscious anyways. And the reality is this, is you got to get this. 9 out of 10 people are never going to wake up. Well, tell me that they ever have. Okay, the only reason why people were healthy 75 years ago, okay, 50 years ago, everything just went to you know what in a basket. But people were healthy 75 years ago because guess what? The so-called psycho elite didn't come on with their poisoning except, you know, after the Second World War, they really brought it on, didn't they? Okay, all right. Well, they said, look, if we can get them to go to war for us and go kill their brothers and sisters, to go get our gold, to go get our minerals, to go take over the banking in all these other countries, then my God, then we know that they really don't have much of a brain. So let's just poison their water, their food, their air, the so-called television that they're addicted to. So that's what brings us here today to what we're doing right now is the Great Harvest. And I don't know if you follow me at all, but I already told you that the world went extinct 5 times. That doesn't mean that every human being passed away, but we are going to go to the edge of extinction again. Why? Because you're so willing to poison yourself. Take a look at the choices that you've made this Christmas season. Okay, let's see how New Year's pans out. Let's see who has a hangover from alcohol or eating too much food or not being able to process their emotions, okay? How many of you feel really lonely and brokenhearted right now? Well, do understand that heart disease is the #1 killer in the world. Second to that would be cancer. So heart disease is a broken heart, an empty heart. My heart is in pieces. Nobody loves me. I don't love myself, but I don't even know that. And then cancer being all the anger and the hate that you have. We have to store it somewhere, so we got to store it in a tumor. First it's a rumor, and then it becomes a tumor, and then we cut the tumor out, but we didn't cut the belief out, and that's why the cancer came back 2 or 3 different times, and that's why you end up having 2 or 3 heart attacks before you actually leave. because your heart is empty, because you've never been taught to love yourself, and then to totally unconditionally love yourself. It's got to be one of the greatest sins ever. And I'll probably go to hell for this one if I totally love myself, if I totally respect myself, protect myself, honor myself. Seriously, that's how they've kept control of us since the beginning of time. And they're going to keep on having control because most people think I'm full of it. There you go. And I really do believe that most people think I'm full of it. Maybe not you, or you wouldn't be on the show, or maybe you're on the show for the first time. And yeah, I don't know. Anyways, you can see where I'm coming from. I think that everybody is beautiful. I think that some people have very toxic beliefs, and they're hurting themselves and their family. And I believe that a lot of people believe that those beliefs are their personality. And this is my personality. What do you expect? I've always been like this. Well, no, you haven't. You came here as a beautiful little spirit that was infused into your mother's womb. And then you created this little physical body that you're running around with and having fun with, but you're destroying it because you've been programmed that way. We're basically programmed to work really hard until we're 50, and then guess what? Everything kind of starts to fall down and out and apart. So that's what really goes on. And when a doctor says, well, you're in great shape for your health, just remember something. He's comparing you to the other people that are also unconscious, because we do know that 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease. So don't compare yourself to anybody else anymore. Just know that you're unlimited. And the more that you love and care for yourself, the more fun you're going to have. And you're going to rock this world. But mind your own business. And from now on, anybody that says they're an authority over you, you're going to go, la, 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 la. And just let them just yak off and spew out of their mouth, because that's all they do. Okay? So there's nobody in authority over me. There's no president. There's no premier. There's no government agent. There's no medical doctor. There's no policeman. There's no military. There's nobody that is an authority over me, and they never will. I don't pay attention to them. I pay attention to my life. It's my adventure. And that's the way it's going to stay. And I'm putting everybody on notice. So that's why people usually stay away from me. Those people stay away from me, except the only people that don't stay away from me are the people go, wow, I'd like some of that crazy. Give me some of that crazy, will you? So welcome to Crazyville. Okay? So here's the deal. I want you to embrace being a black sheep. I want you to embrace that everybody thinks you're crazy. I want you to embrace that everybody thinks that you're a danger, okay? Because total unconditional love is the most dangerous thing that you'll ever do, because if you can get past that, then you can have everything. You can be abundant on all levels. And if you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. I'm not telling you I want to be a multimillionaire, but if I wanted to, I could be one. I can be anything that I want to be. I am almost 66 years old, and I am brand new. And I am reborn every day, in every way. And understand something, if you have the belief that you are in charge of your beliefs, and you can make new beliefs every day when you wake up, and if you were just able to just change 1% every day, 1%, I didn't ask for anything else, 1%, that means every 100 days you have a new you. Boy, wouldn't that be fun to be with a new you every 100 days? How would you like to have a new relationship every 100 days? And the new relationship that you created every 100 days was better than the last one. Holy smokes. But that doesn't happen, does it? Because by the time that we are in our 50s, it's when is this over? When is this going to be over? And you know what? And then we actually plan to go out and have fun. We are no longer the fun. But a child is the fun, because guess what? They still have the adventure. They still have an imagination. And they also know how to, what? Well, they don't know how to. They just have a really good immune system. But because you've inflamed yourself on an emotional and physical level for so long, and you've backed up the waste, you feel like crap. And when you feel like crap for long enough, you want out of here. So I get it. I get why you're trying to kill yourself by overeating, taking prescription drugs or street drugs, or, wow, I just can't do this anymore. Yes, you can. You need a reality check. And you need to understand that there's parts of your personality that need to go into the wastebasket because they never were your personality. And if you could get that, You know, how many times have you heard somebody say, this is who I am. This is who I am. Really? Wow, that should be a lot of fun. Really. And it's not who you are. Okay, it's who they told you to be. How's that working for you? So we're all actors. Okay, so you need to get that. So from now on, stop letting the psycho elite write your script. Write your own script. So why don't you write yourself as the hero, not the victim? Why don't you do that? Why don't you direct yourself in an unconditional, loving way? Why don't you do that too? Okay. Now that I've ranted and raved for a few minutes, I've got that off my chest. I'm feeling really good today. Can you tell? Can you tell? This is like so much fun, and I want to thank you for letting me do this. All right? From the bottom of my heart. So this is a Q&A, and I will answer every question that comes in that I possibly can, okay? All right? I just want to go over a few things. First of all, isn't it fun, okay, to feel that you were born to be free? Isn't it fun to own that? Okay, well, guess what? How about you were born to fly? If you want to write this phone number down, I don't know, Gad, do you want to put it in? 887 468885. That's 887-468885. Now, why are we writing that number down? Well, because this is a bunch of crazy people that are going to get some planes together and fly you out of any country that we possibly can. We're going to start working with Canada, okay? And we're going to work with United States, and this is what we're doing. So you can call that number. It's an 800 number, or you can go to you can do an email to C like cat, T like Tom, 4 like the number 4, R like Robert, at the @ hotmail.com if you'd like to leave an email message. Now, if you call the 800 number, don't be afraid to leave an in-depth situation like where you live, what your intentions are, but don't tell your whole life story, okay? Because, you know, let's put it this way. Let's fly out of a country because we want to get out to go for an adventure, not because we're desperate. Whenever we're desperate, we can't seem to shut our mouths, and we just like go on and on forever. But Dr. Wolf, you don't understand. I've had this disease, that disease, this disease, that disease. No, you only have one disease. You're not at ease with yourself, and you've been programmed to destroy yourself. Can you please be quiet so that I can just tell you how beautiful you really are, so we can just get to it? Because understand something, okay? They tell a story long enough and strong enough, you actually believe it, and then you become it. You become the cancer, okay? So tell a cancer story, and you'll become it, okay? All right? Now, let me see, what else do I want to go over, just because I'd like to? Okay. So Wednesday at 10 a.m., I'm going to do, can you move that over so I can, okay, thank you. Wednesday, 10 a.m., Christmas, New Year's, new tips, new strategies, okay? So 10 a.m. tomorrow, I'm just going to go over tips and strategies so that you can wake up on New Year's Day, okay, and still play and not have a hangover and not feel like you've got diarrhea. You're so constipated that you need a corkscrew to get it out. Now, so what am I going to do? Well, let me see, Thursday. So Thursday, I've got another show at 10 o'clock. That's right. Oh, my God. Isn't that great? Can you roll that up, please? Thank you. Keep rolling it. So Thursday's show at 10 a.m. is called Get the Cork Out, Flush the Pounds, Lighten the Load. And I will show you the best and permanent weight loss that you'll ever have in your life, and it will cost you almost nothing. Okay? All right, so that'll be 10 a.m. And then as soon as I finish that at 12 o'clock, then I'm going to go down to the beach bar to get drunk. No, I'm not. I'm going down to the beach bar at the beach because I'm going to go retake my scuba diving license. So I'm going to go scuba diving on Thursday, and then I'm going to do it on Friday, and Saturday I'll have my license again. Well, I still have my license, but I haven't went for a while. So I want to do deep water, okay? And that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah. You know what? It's called Let's Celebrate Every Day, okay? Let's celebrate every day, but let's celebrate it with loving and honoring stuff. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would feel like if you totally unconditioned... Do you remember when you fell in love with that girl or that guy for the first time? Do you remember? Wow, the fireworks, the explosion. You felt so much love in your heart that you had love for everyone, the whole world. Now, are you ready for this? That guy or that girl didn't give you any love at all. They had a frequency that went in and triggered the domino effect of the love that you were suppressing for yourself. Because when you first got here, what mommy and daddy said, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're a little spirit. And you know, the light was just coming off of you. And then when you started to walk and talk, you act like mom and dad. And then eventually, boom, adulteration set in. So you don't know what unconditional love is or was, because once you start to walk and talk, it becomes a very distant memory. But what if you were able to get it back? Okay, so that's what we're after here. What if you're able to get it back? You know, I am prepared, okay? I'm prepared to have more chaos in my life than I've ever had before. And I'll keep a slight smile on my face. I'll stay connected to the Lionheart breath. And I will have the best day of my life. And you're going to go, wow, he's heartless. Oh, no, I'm not. I just know that nobody's paying me to suffer. And every time I do, I get a headache and I get sick, and then I can't help my brothers and sisters. So I refuse to buy into the suffering program, because let's just stop it. Let's stop it right now. Let's honor and respect ourselves. And most people aren't going to be able to do it. And you know, like I got people that come here and they've been here for 4 months, right? But you know what they do? They come to my morning talks, but they don't opt in to my whole life coach. So, you know, I have 30 to 40% of the people that come to my whole life coach certification. The next one is January the 12th. Okay. They're not even wanting to be certified to do it for a living. They just want to live. And other people just want to stick their toe in and go, wow, he's entertaining. Well, aren't I? Come on. Anybody that's half crazy is entertaining. All right. So let me see here. So I'm going to be in doing Acapulco, and that's going to be happening from February the 14th to the 18th. And I'll be doing 2 45-minute lectures, and then I'll be doing an all-day lecture called The Perfect Day. And I will be going through on how to create that perfect day on the emotional and physical level. And that is a really big thing. And just know that we're going to be flying people from Canada and United States into Acapulco that do not want to become vaxxed and do not want to have a PCR test. Okay, that's already underway. And believe it or not, we're also working on right now to flying people right into Ixtapa, which is 12 minutes from the World Healing and Ixtapa World Healing and Training Center, where I am right now. Okay. Anyways, I've talked enough. So what I want to do is I want to open up with questions. Can we open up Zoom and find out? People need to just put their hands up if they want. Yeah. We'll start with Zoom, because I like to have people live, and they can come on and come on live. Romana, why don't you come on and say hello to everybody? Romana is one of the practitioners here, and I really wish she would have came in today and sat beside me, but I think I'm not really sure why she didn't want to. Maybe she's upset with me. And how'd that go? Okay, tell us about the consultation that you just did. Okay. Right. Well, there's a difference between, yeah, there's a difference between live food and dead food. I mean, how much dead food does it take to bring someone back alive? Okay, all right. Well, I would say that it's off and on, but now it's on. You know, it's been on for years. So I don't know. Let's say that it's been mainly on for 15 years. The reality is I've got to make the same mistakes as everyone else. I just don't have to stay there as long when I'm awake. But the reality is I didn't really make mistakes. You know, it's people I'm with, right? So now I'm at a point in my life. I'm, you know, like I said, I'm almost 66. So what I want to do now is I don't want to compromise at all, because I don't want to compromise anything anymore. And I don't have to, because, you know, when you are loving, respecting, and totally honoring yourself, you don't have to compromise yourself. You only have to compromise with people when you are doing dishonoring things. That's when you have to compromise. But you don't even know you're doing dishonoring things because you've been doing them for so long. That's all you know. Okay. All right. Yeah. How are you doing? Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. This time. All right. So there are people, Gad, saying that they would like to come on. Is the Zoom limited? No. Can you put the Zoom up and let it run on the bottom or something and let people know? What's the Zoom link or whatever? What do they do again? Yeah.
They just go open Zoom.
Open Zoom. Well, what if I didn't know how to open Zoom?
You click on it.
Where do I click on it?
You click on the Zoom logo.
Where's the Zoom logo?
If you don't have it downloaded, it's in the App Store.
Okay, if you don't have the Zoom downloaded, it's in the App Store. So you got to download the Zoom from the App Store. It's really easy, guys. That part's easy. It's two little moves. And the ID is 833-7518. 7095. 833-7518-7095. That's it. That's the ID. Okay. All right. Can you put it up in the chat?
Yep.
Okay, that's that. What's the number? Phone number?
I put it in there.
For the plane?
Yeah.
Boss, look, the plane. Yeah, I think that's it. The plane. Okay. All right. It's in plain sight. Okay. All right. And you know what? Talking about plain sight, I just want to say this, everyone. Did you know that the poisoning that they've been doing to us since the beginning of this planetary experience has been in plain sight? Go figure, right? How asleep do you think we really are? Okay. All right. Here we go. Hi, Dr. Wolf. Do you know from where in Canada do you fly to Mexico? Like what city? Thank you. I think we're going to be doing it from Toronto and Vancouver. Why don't you phone that number and they'll get back to you? Okay. Andreas is looking after that. You know, people that are already pilots, people that are already connected, people are already talking to each other. Yeah. Okay. Let me see here. Anything else, Romana? Did you like to say before we move on? Okay. And feel free to break in if you'd like, okay? All right? Is there anybody else that has any hands up that has questions on Zoom? We'll go there first. Is there anybody?
Yeah, Anna.
Okay, all right. What's your name? Anna. Anna, do you want to go ahead? Hi. Yes. Yes. No, 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 I didn't say that. I said that, okay. What? Why don't we bring on Romana and then I'll talk, because I don't want to come across as a marketer or a sales pitch. Romana took the course and she's on her way to becoming a master practitioner. Do you want to come on, Romana, and talk? Can she do that? Yeah. Go ahead. So why don't you tell her what you know about the course, and then I'll fill in the gaps if there is any. No, a lot do. I just said that, yeah, I was just saying that the people that don't do the course, it shows up because they really don't actually make any headway, do they? Yeah. No. You do anything you want. Anything you want. Yeah. Wait a second. Can you hold for 1 second? There is no sound from the people asking questions. Gad, nobody can hear them. We can only hear Dr. Wolf. Gad, you've got them on mute. Huh?
I can hear them.
Well, that's nice. Can somebody let me know on Facebook if you can hear them? Nope, can't hear anyone from Zoom. We cannot hear Romana on Facebook. Okay, Gad, we have to try to fix that.
It's all on.
What?
It's all on.
Okay, can Romana, will you speak? Can people hear Romana now? No. I want to, somebody on Facebook, can you please answer if you can hear her? Nope, they can't. No, they can't hear. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what's not plugged in or what? This is what happens with the IT world, eh? Isn't it great? I love it. Okay. Can't hear Zoom. Nope. Okay. All right. Gad, Romana, we'll go play with that. I'm just going to answer the question. What I'm going to do is everybody's going to have to type in their questions, or I'll tell you what, Zoom people can come on and ask me the question. I'll repeat it and then I'll answer it. That's all I can do for now. And Gad, will you try to work on this? Okay. And then every once in a while, I'll tell you, Romana, to make a noise. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. It's okay, guys. We get it. There's everybody's saying no. Okay. So here we go. So I was just asked a question. What does a whole life coach certification look like? Well, you have to understand that this is a 10-day intensive training. And when I say intensive training, it's not going to break you. It's just going to make you. The reality is this. Let's talk about what we're dealing with first. Okay. And this I truly believe. First of all, the biggest problem that everybody has on this planet is I believe that if our brain wasn't manufactured in a laboratory, ask me why it's like this. 90% of your brain is your subconscious, and that is basically a storage shed or a filing cabinet. Now, the reality is this storage shed or filing cabinet will only hold the prominent dominant beliefs, but that's logical, right? Whatever you put in there the most is going to be what's in there the most. But what if you weren't putting it in and someone else was putting it in and you didn't know they were putting stuff in? Well, that's the way it is, right? From 0 to 7, you have no filters. So whatever comes at you, you take it without discretion. You have no filters, no filters. From 0 to 7. So you have to understand something. We know that you need to repeat something. I use this maybe not 10,000 times, because the reality is you got to repeat something 10,000 times to make it a prominent dominant belief in your subconscious. Now, your subconscious is only going to be as smart as the beliefs that you have in there. It's only going to be as dumb as the beliefs you have in there. You're only going to be as healthy as the beliefs that you have, and you're only going to be as sick as the beliefs you have. That's why you've had cancer 3 times, because you might have got rid of the cancer, but you didn't get rid of the belief. And then you fell back into the same old program. So here's the deal. What if I could give you strategies and techniques on an emotional level that you could actually transform, okay, erase and replace prominent dominant beliefs that were actually stopping you from being successful on all levels in your life? What if I could give you those strategies? Now, what if I could, within those days, prove to you that within those 10 days, that we could make a bigger leap in your personality and change your reality than in the last 20, 30 years? Would that make you convinced? So what it is I'm not, okay, this is why, first of all, you have to understand something. Everybody comes as the patient. They don't come as the practitioner. We have doctors that will take the course, lawyers that will take the course, chiropractors, nurses, lay people, okay, people that have worked in the oil field, accountants. I mean, do I need to keep going? Yoga teachers, okay, bakers, candlestick makers. I'm not kidding. So understand something, okay? You need to get this. So everybody that comes, believe it or not, they could have been a practitioner for 10, 20, and 30 years. And they come and they found out that they didn't do any emotional work on themselves, and you can't give what you're not. So until you know how to be the master blaster and blast out the dysfunctional ones and bring in the functional ones, you can't give what you don't have. And this is why I'll tell you right now, and you can believe it or not believe it, but I challenge anybody out there that says I'm a whole life coach. You come and take my course, and we'll find out what a whole life coach is. This is not arrogance, because I cut to the quick on this thing. Because the reality is, you think that you came because you needed more money or you wanted to be more successful with your patients. But deep down inside, your spirit, your soul, your heart was saying, I want you to unconditionally love and forgive yourself first and foremost to set you free on all levels. And that's what this course is about. So now when you ask me, the first day what we do is we're going to go through some emotional 101 rules. Not rules like, but let's call them universal laws. Okay, now on the day 2, we're going to go through about our energy medicine products and equipment. So now you've got a basic feel about it. Day 3, but understand, it gets real interesting here. Because if we've got 25 people in the room or 20 people in the room, we got 20 different personalities. Those personalities were created by different belief systems by the prominent, dominant people that were in that person's life. The church they went to, the school they went to. And understand something. Now the fun begins. And I wish Ramona could talk about it, because people will say, you go this way, you go that way, but the whole thing's a learning. Every time somebody starts talking about a personal event in their life or a situation, we're going to talk about it and show them how to reprocess that event, that situation, and take it from a tragedy and bring it into a celebration. What if all the tragedies in your life became your celebrations? This is what I do. Now understand, we're going to have people in there, and I have a chair on this side of me and this side of me, and if you're not a practitioner, you can sit beside me as well. I don't care who you are. I want to see you come and sit beside me. And then you can come up and watch all the different expressions of everyone. The ones that are giving me the finger, okay? The ones that are smiling, the ones that are going the aha moment, but they're not giving me the finger. Their subconscious is. Because the reality is I just gave them a belief that came up against something. And here's the deal. This is why people aren't going to change. This is why your family's not going to change. People don't change, they just get old. Does he still hit you? No, because he can't lift his arm up. Okay, so understand something. And you got to get this. People don't change. And what people don't understand is as soon as I give them a belief that is contrary to the one that's even killing them, their subconscious goes, no, no. Your subconscious will stop anything that is different or opposite to what you are. So I'm telling you that if you have a belief and that belief only allows you to love yourself 10%, and I've got a belief that says we're going to love you 90% or 100%, your subconscious goes, I don't know what that is. Because your subconscious is either the dumbest part of you or the smartest part of you, and if the belief is too far or too different from what you already believe, it's going to stop it because it says, I do not know what this is. This could kill you. So I got to hold the line in that room because people are going to go like this to me. And it's not the people, it's their subconscious, because your subconscious is fearful. Your subconscious says, I'm here to protect you. Yes, I get it. You are dying of a disease, but you're not dead yet. And guess what? I don't know what this is that this crazy practitioner wants to do, but it's totally foreign and it could kill you. So until I can repeat it enough and you are accepting it with passion and purpose, it becomes a poison for your subconscious, even if it could save your life. But you don't know this. But the problem is, unless you've trained yourself like me in the last quarter century, because I'll tell you something right now, and you can ask the people here that I live with, the people I hang around with, I'm in the conscious moment 95% of the day, not 5%. The maximum that the majority of the population is in the conscious moment is 5% of their day. Now, what do you think you could change with 5% of your day being in the conscious moment? And the other 95 is in the subconscious. You put your pants on without thinking about it. You go to the bathroom without thinking about it. You probably even make love to your partner without thinking about it because you've done it so much. But the more that you can connect to your breath, the more that you can wear a slight smile no matter what the disaster is, and the more that you feel your emotions. You want to learn to feel your way through life, not think it. I want you to stop it because you're not thinking. Your subconscious is doing all the thinking with your prominent dominant beliefs. You don't hardly think at all. Hardly anybody has any new thoughts. Tell me what new thoughts you had yesterday. Tell me what you did different yesterday. If you didn't do something that scared you a little bit yesterday, then you didn't have a new thought. If you didn't do something that you risked your life, you're going to kill yourself, but if you don't risk a little bit somewhere in your life every day, you didn't learn anything new. And that's the bottom rule. That's the bottom rule. So what are you going to learn in the Whole Life Coach? Every Whole Life Coach is different. And understand, I'll have people in there that have taken my class 3 times and actually came and helped to teach it twice. So that's basically 5. And if you ask them when you come, what is the course like? They're going to say everyone is different, because guess what? You take all these people, you put them into a blender, you turn the blender on, and you got all these personalities. How could it be the same course? Hey, listen, you know what? The liquid's going to be different. Yes. Okay, come on down. Can anybody hear what she just said?
No, it's not working.
It's not working. Okay, I apologize, everybody on Zoom, but we will get it to work, won't we, Gad?
Yeah.
Okay? Okay, Romana is going to come live because she's about 7 minutes away, and we will play. Okay? Now, people that are on Zoom can still ask me questions. I'll repeat the question, and then there's the answer. Can you go back to the beautiful lady that had the question?
Oh, yeah.
Where is she? Because she can, okay.
I can find her.
Because I want to make sure that I answered her question, and if I didn't answer her question, then I want to make sure that I do, okay? Anyways, can you find her? Can she just put her hand up or no? Oh, there's a lot of people on today, holy smokes. Okay, anyways, let's just go on. Is there anybody else on Zoom that has questions today? Anybody else want to put your hand up? How do you know when they do?
They said yes, Zoom can hear, but
No, Zoom can hear, but Facebook can't. That's
someone that wants to ask a question.
pardon?
Someone wants to ask a question.
Okay, please go right ahead. Who is it?
I don't even know how to say it.
WJOY. Hi, Wendy. Absolutely. Why don't I just have, how about I have them come on my show? Let me see here. How about next Tuesday, I'll have them come on my show. I'll pick like, how about I have 2 different practitioners come on? Is that okay? And let's make it really interesting. I won't take anybody that was ever in the health field before. And I'll take people that were emotionally toxic to the point that they didn't like their lives. How's that? Okay, and when I mean that, I want to say that we've all been there, so it's not like they're broken. They're not broken. They were just on track for what happens out there. So I will contact, I don't know who I'm going to get, but I'll get two two different practitioners, and because there'll be two different stories, and I'll have them come on next Tuesday, and I'll take a back seat and we'll let them tell you their stories, and then you can question them. And by then we'll have Zoom working, won't we, Gad? All right. Is that okay? Oh, no, you can have as many as you want. You know what? If you took the whole show, it wouldn't matter. You know, you have to understand something, okay? People don't need to say, this will only take a second, or I only have one question, or I know you're in a hurry. No, we need to love, honor, and respect ourselves, and we need to do that for others. So go ahead, love. What's your question? Where do you live? Where do you live? You don't have to worry yet. You can still fly from, I just lost the mic for a second. You can still fly from Virginia, though. Yeah, that's not a problem. When we were talking about that, well, also, you'll be able to fly from Texas, too, because they are going to shut the whole world down. You do know that, right? And then you'll hear about a country that's been freed up, and they'll let them go free for a little while, and then they'll slap them right down again. And that's all it is. It's just a game. That's all it is. Okay? Yeah. Okay, first of all, let's just make something perfectly clear. Your country will always let you into your country. They cannot force fax you when you come back into your country. You need to get that clear and in your head. No, I'm serious. They can't cross that line. Everything that they've ever told us to do right now is not law. If it ever went to court, they would lose. That's why they will not go to court with this. When you walk into your country, they can't do anything to you. Okay? All right? I think I might have to go back up to Canada, and when I do, I'll video the whole thing. And there's no country that is almost worse off than Canada right now. And I will show people that I will walk in and not do a ding-dang thing that they asked me to do, and I'll walk out of that airport. No, so you need to understand that. So you know what? Stop letting people terrorize you. Stop listening to your brothers and your sisters that have no Bravehearts left. Stop, if you can't hang around with people that are going to stand up for their God-given rights, okay? I'm serious. So stop hanging around with people that have weak beliefs. People aren't weak. Their beliefs are weak. People aren't strong. Their beliefs are strong. My beliefs are strong. Do you think my beliefs are going to change no matter what goes on? They're not going to change. They're not. You know what? When the times get tougher, the strong get stronger. When the times get tougher, the weaker get what? Weaker. They don't get stronger. They break. And guess what? What's the difference between the two? I already explained it. It's just beliefs. Whatever beliefs you have in your head, okay, that's the way you're going to bed, and that's the way you're getting out of bed, okay? Because it's all about your beliefs. And right now, I can see it. Just looking at your face, you're fearful, right? Oh, I want to live my life, but I don't think I can. So, and guess what? There's nothing wrong with you. The reality is, and you can believe this or not. So I always said that I don't have fear, but guess what? So anyways, last week I was a little bit stressed out, but that is fear. So the reality is when I no longer get stressed out, because before fear was fear. You can tell when somebody's really fearful. But then people who think they've got their fear nailed, they get stressful. But guess what? Stress is fear. So if I can nail the stress and just chill out, and I got this. You know what? If you saw the laundry list of what I want to accomplish today, it's not going to happen. And I'll tell you something. Come 5 o'clock, I'm going to jump on my electric bike, and there's like 45 miles of bike trails that are more beautiful than anything you've ever seen here. And I'm just going to go for a long bike ride. And then I'm going to go into Zeewatenagle, and I'm going to have a beautiful supper, and then I'm going to bike back home. So the reality is this. Okay, let me make this perfectly clear. I am not scared of anybody or anything. And the reality is, you would say, well, you're being foolish. You need to be on your guard, Dr. Wolf. Well, if you're on your guard, you're not having a lot of fun, are you, sweetie? Like none. Oh, I got to be prepared for when things go wrong. Okay, you do that, but don't mind me. I don't want to be near you. All right? All right. Okay. Okay. No more questions. And I apologize to everybody on Facebook and YouTube that can't hear the people that are speaking, but we will fix this for Tuesday, won't we, Gad? We'll have it fixed by the end of the day. And what happens is guess what? It's a button or a little thing that's turned off, and Gad doesn't know how to turn it on. Can you call Sean, please? Can you call Drake, please, Gad? And maybe we can get it working, right? Okay. Yeah, I know that. That's why I want you to call Drake, and I want you to troubleshoot it, and I will just keep on talking like I do. Thanks, love. Thanks, Wendy. Is there anybody else on Zoom that has questions? And then we will go back to all the questions that are coming up on Facebook, and we'll take a look at those. If there's none on Zoom, we'll go to Facebook. Okay, Gad? Okay. All right. And then while I'm doing the questions, Bud, then you can see if you can talk to one of the other guys, and maybe they can troubleshoot it for you, okay? You're doing a great job, Gad. Just breathe. Who is it? Laza, come on, please. Raza. Hello, Raza. Come on in. Oh, the door's locked.
I'll get it.
Hi, how are you, Raza? Raza, can you hear me?
She is unmuted.
Okay, Raza, can you hear me? Okay, so you're not coming in very good, so you don't have a break. Okay, can you get do you have the headphones? 1 second, please. Can you plug in the headphones, please? Do you have it set there? Okay, can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not you. I'm talking to Romana sitting beside me. Go ahead, what's your question? Okay, let me move over. Am I going to do the courses in what? Hello? Okay, you're cutting out. Am I going to do, Raz, are you still there? This is one of those days. What? Raza? Am I going to do the courses where next year? Oh, well, I'm going to do the courses in Mexico every year. Can you hear?
Yeah, but it's really loud.
Okay, here, hold on. How's that?
That's better.
Okay, so we're going to be doing the courses. Okay, just so everybody knows, we have a course in January. We have another one in February. We have another one in March. And in April, I'm doing a Spanish split English course. We'll have a translator where every Spanish person that comes here in the April course will be translating the whole life coach and the non-surgicals, and we're going to be opening up to all the Spanish-speaking people in South America, Latin America, Spain, wherever they're from. Okay, you can turn that off if you want. It's right there. Romana, just turn it off. It's okay. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay. So anyways, yes, so we've got a course, like I said, January the 12th, then we have another one February the 5th, and then we have another one in March, and then, like I said, it's a Spanish-English split in April, okay? And then also, just so everybody knows, is that we've ramped up everything here. We've got 7 treatment rooms here, so where we do non-surgical. We've got lots of therapists here. We've got the Cell Sonic. We have a cardiovascular device that in 7 weeks will actually double the arterials that are in your heart. You heard what I said. And this device, I actually got this device because, you can go on my website and take a look at it. Between doing the Wolf non-surgical, the Cell Sonic, and doing the cardiovascular table, I think that we can basically reverse everything.
Absolutely everything.
And people don't believe that, but we can. All right. Okay. So, and we can't, but people can. Especially, if you can pull right in, please. Yep. Especially when you learn to master your mind. Romana, why don't you tell people a little bit of your story? Where from 3 months ago to today, what is the difference between now and then? From when you were in Australia, you came here, just briefly. You don't have to go into everything.
So it's sort of, I left Papua New Guinea in May and went to Australia, and because I knew I was coming to do the course, and I decided to then come here and learn, because I'd already done 2 years online with Daryl. So,
well,
and
you
I'd
didn't
already
actually
done,
do it with me.
No, I meant the online courses.
Well, she did like the
courses.
A to Z wellness masterclass.
And the Braveheart.
And she did the Braveheart
Yep.
online emotional course, and then she dove into the library, right?
And went right down the rabbit hole with lots of different things all across the globe with what was happening, and decided that I wanted to do this for a living because it worked for me, because I was very, very ill. I was bedridden a few years ago, and as you can see, I'm not bedridden anymore.
She just ran from her bed.
I literally ran from my bed. I was running in my thongs. I should have put my sneakers on. Anyway, it's been the most challenging time of my life, but it's also been the most eye-opening time of my life. And I have learned to be pain-free for the first time in my life, and I'm 53 in February. So you can reverse anything. As Daryl just said before, I know that your dysfunctional belief systems will tell you that you can't, but you can. I'm proof of it, because I've nearly died a few times in my life, and you can just completely turn it around and get younger. Like, my body's getting younger because it's healing all the time, and everything is starting to get younger. I feel younger, I feel alive, and every single moment or every single day when I wake up in the morning, I'm just excited because I know I'm going to have another wonderful day. And my dream has already come true, and that's to help others heal, and I'm doing that, and I love it, and I will never stop. We've got to get this out to the world. The world needs to know the truth of how perfect our bodies can be.
Isn't that the truth? Boy, and I'll tell you something. Do you see how she's speaking? That's how you'll speak. Because you know what? She's stepped into her power. Nobody's going to be able to bang her around anymore. Nobody's going to be able to say, you're less, okay? Nobody's going to be able to treat her like she thought she deserved to be treated before. So I would watch out if I were you.
And you see, look, I even forgot to put my, what do you call it?
Bridge.
My fake teeth in. Yeah, because I was so excited about coming here. Because I just thought, no, I don't have time. I'll just do it on my bed. But I'd much rather be here any day.
I'd rather have you here too. Okay? All right. And it also looks better you coming here than me going on your bed. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody else that has a question they'd like to ask?
Irene.
Irene, come on, Irene. Is Irene speaking?
I asked her to unmute.
You have to unmute Irene if you'd like to join us. Okay, love? Now we can hear you now. No, don't be sorry. Okay, so now say, I'm going to take that sorry back because you never have to apologize, and sorry is a dirty word for us, isn't it?
It sure is.
Okay, it's degrading. And the lady who said sorry, are you from Canada? Okay, all right. Well, anyways, you should have left the sorry when you were crossing the water. Because I'll tell you something right now, never say sorry again, and if you say sorry, say, I take it back. Okay?
It's funny, we're all learning to do that. We'll say sorry because we're so used to it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be talking about something and say, oh, sorry, and they go, no, I didn't say that. And then sometimes we have to walk out of the room and knock on the door to be let back in.
If you come to take the course, you're not being punished. First of all, people think it is, but I get the ground rules straight. that if somebody said, why don't you tell them what we do?
If somebody says sorry, they literally have to get up while everybody's laughing, get up and walk out of the room, out the door, shut the door, knock on the door.
And then we say, who is it?
And they say, this is Braveheart. And then we say, okay, you can come in now.
And guess what? That's how we erase and replace that word.
And it does work. It's quite funny because now I don't like to say sorry to anyone anymore. Not for any reason. I try to word it differently.
You know, I apologize for knocking you down. And not that I would knock someone down. But unless you injured someone, why would you apologize? You know what? We'll apologize if somebody brushes by us. Oh, sorry, did I touch you? Oh, no, wouldn't want to touch her.
God forbid.
Oh, God, forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all a little bit touched. What do you think? A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Irene, go ahead. Irene number 1, and then after Irene number 1, we'll have Irene number
2.
Scooby-Doo.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Irene's from Alaska. We're going to repeat what you say because nobody can hear you on Facebook or YouTube or the other platforms. Okay, go ahead, love. Your son is 31 years old. Okay. Anal fistula. And guess what? Are you ready for this? And he's going to have a third. And he's going to have a fourth. And see, I just said that. And he's going to have a fifth. And then guess what they're going to do? They're going to cut out the last 8 inches of his colon, okay? Because it's going to rot out. And that's what's happening, is your son is rotting out. Now, every time they do a surgery to go, okay, first of all, what's a fistula? Well, when you're constipated enough, okay? Irene, have you ever been to a farm where there's a manure pile? So the manure pile, if you were to go to the bottom of the manure pile, because gravity, you would find there's a liquid. That liquid is ammonia. That ammonia will eat away anything, okay, that is organic, like tissue. If you were to, it's ammonia. It'll eat the wax right off the floor. So your son is dripping from rotting. He's got root rot. Root rot means, oh, and by the way, let me think here. So tomorrow I'm going to do the New Year's strategies, and then on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, I'm going to talk about that. So he's going to get all his answers if he wants to watch. But the reality is this. So now you got this, okay, so you got the large intestine, and it starts at the cecum, which is in the lower part on the right side, just above your hip. That goes up the ascending colon, just under the rib, comes across the transverse colon, okay, under the ribs, comes down the descending colon, and then it takes a dogleg turn called the sigmoid. And right there in the sigmoid, your son has had spastic strictures. So he's been in, the poop stayed there long enough to create infection. Infection created inflammation. Inflammation caused constriction. Now he backed up the traffic. Just because there's traffic coming into the city doesn't mean it's not backed up for 40 miles. So now he backed up the waste. But the waste that he backed up and stagnated, the stagnation created the infection, created the inflammation, caused the scar tissue to form, causing the last time that you were in pain in your tummy, you would bend over, right? So everything constricts when it's in pain. So then it gets thin. So he's got a blockage. So now what happens? He rots out there. The liquid comes down, and when the liquid comes down where the sigmoid is, the drip, drip, drip. It ate a hole through his large intestine, and now your son is pooping into his bloodstream. And I'll tell you something, if he's not sterile yet, he's gonna be. Because you can't poop in your pelvis and not end up becoming sterile or having prostate inflammation and then cancer. So now, every time that they do surgery on your son, they create more scar tissue than they clear out. So they go in, and now he's got this little pinhole that is pooping into the pinhole and going into his body. So they go in and they seal it. But guess what? The tissue in his colon is got scar tissue and inflammation, so it's weak. It's weak. So now he's just got, every time they do surgery on him, guess what they put him on? Antibiotics. The antibiotics are now destroying the good bacteria, and your good bacteria is the smartest part of a human being. You can believe it or not, and I challenge any doctor to come on me, because I'll tell you something, you get ready. You want to come on my show and you want to debate me about fecal matter or bacteria or the large intestine not being the immune system of the human body, you better really do your research. And I can't wait until you come on, okay? Because this is where everybody is being undermined around the world. Let me tell you something. You can walk around and look like you're 9 months pregnant and be a guy, okay, and be rotting. And you could even put a beer on your belly because it's sticking out so far and nobody even sees it. You know what? Human beings have to be one of the, well, they are. They are the dumbest species on this planet, because they've been programmed that way. The schools, all the so-called specialists, all our teachers are all programmed. So understand, your son is not stupid, and people aren't stupid. They got stupid beliefs. So now he gets surgery. Surgery causes more scar tissue than actually the rotting of the poop. So now they go in and they seal it up, and guess what? What happens when you seal it up? Well, you cause inflammation, causing more scar tissue formation. So now it can't give. It's not elastic, and scar tissue doesn't have any circulation. So guess what? Now he's got a block. The bigger the block comes, the bigger the scar tissue comes, the more, okay, if I have a dam on a river, what's going to pile up behind the dam? More garbage? And then on the other side of the dam, is there going to be more circulation and water or less circulation? So now you got more infection, more inflammation, less oxygen getting to the cells. Oh, and by the way, they're operating just where? Probably about 2 to 3 inches from his prostate. So now they're blocking off the circulation to his prostate and testicles. So please don't, you don't have to ask him, but ask him how hard it is to have an erection. It should be getting harder and, no, softer and softer. Yeah. But it's harder to have one because you can't block off circulation like that. So here's the deal. This is easy to turn around. Now, is he willing to change? So let me ask you, absolutely, absolutely. Well, we'll find out absolutely, because most people aren't willing to change. They're not willing to change the way they think about themselves, okay? So, generation of curses. Yeah, but hold on a second. Now, you talked in a way that it almost looked like you were ready to cry. Now, here's the deal. This is not your fault. So you got to get that. So now guess what? You just fell into it. Well, I'm his mother. I cared for him. I dropped the ball. It's my fault. I didn't feed him right. I'm learning all these things now, and I really screwed up my son. You stop it. That's not true. You were always there. They said, here's the hammer, tighten the screw. So understand something. You couldn't tighten the screw. You did everything you could to the point that you were so frustrated that you made yourself sick. Yes or no? Yes or no? Then get over it. Now say this. None of this is my fault. Say it. That's right, but I'm going to help him to heal himself. Say that. That's right. And guess what? You've never done anything wrong. Let me tell you something. This is what we do to women. Okay? We take their power away. Women live longer and women are stronger. We make women responsible for all the children and for the husband, for their health. And then we give them a manual that's so toxic, you couldn't heal anything, you couldn't make anything healthy with this toxic manual. And everybody's got the same toxic manual. So by the time that a woman is around 40 or 50, she feels like a damn failure. And then she goes, I don't even know what love is, Dr. Wolf.
So I'd like to add that in this situation, I actually had diarrhea and health issues pretty much most of my life. And I had diarrhea for at least 30 years, and now I don't. And you know why? Because of the protocols that I've learned. The body is healing, and I'm actually going to the toilet properly and doing proper number twos for the first time in my life. And that's only been over the past few months.
If you want to be number one in your life, then you better learn how to do a number two.
Yep.
Let me just say this. All the people that you've known in your life that were on their deathbed, ask them how they're peeing and pooing. Not very well. When you don't pee and poo very well, you are dying. You are rotting. That is called root rot.
That's right. And it literally comes from the inside and continues outwards. So all my skin, which I thought was what they said, sun damage, which I now know is not true. I don't wear sunscreen. I was in the sun all day yesterday and I'm not burnt at all. Perfect. But in saying that, I had all this rot, which was the fungal rot, all over my skin for years and years and years. And that was all coming from pooping in my pelvis. And now it's all starting to heal.
So here's the deal. Before your son had a fistula, which is a hole, he had a fissure and didn't notice it. A fissure is where the toxic waste, the ammonia from the poop, drips down and it dehydrates the anus and rectal area. And then when you go to poop, it cracks. Now you got a crack, and then eventually you get a hole. And understand something. There is nothing healthy about the medical system. They are for emergency care. God love them. That's what they're for. They can save a life, but they can damn well take it too. Okay? And you know what? I don't say this out of arrogance. And you can believe this or not if you're new on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else. Are we lacking business here?
Oh, goodness, no. There's not enough of us.
There's not enough of us. So, but the reality is everyone that comes here gets cared for. So, and that's why I teach courses. I mean, we taught 92 people in 2 months. Okay? Now we've taken a month off, and now we're coming to do 4 months of trainings, 4 different trainings. Yep. And we are going to create a Braveheart army. And we're going to prove, and I'm going to tell this to everybody there, and if you want to come on my show, my number is 855-900-4544, extension 5. And if you'd like to come on my show and go toe-to-toe with me, I will prove that I can take somebody that's never been in health before and in 22 days make them into a health practitioner. And if you don't believe me, I'm ready to be challenged by anybody around the world. And no offense to people who have been practitioners for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, but just understand something. Anything that was government approved and you were trained from was toxic and it was diluted. And that's why you're still trying to use the hammer to tighten.
And it's not your fault.
It's not, to tighten those screws. You are a Braveheart, sweetie, and understand, I'm not doing this because I want to fight. I don't want to fight anyone. I want to love everyone, and I want everyone to love themselves. I say this for one reason, and Romana will tell you, I'm not out to argue or debate. I'm trying to let everybody know that you have been sucker punched, and you were given a manual that's dysfunctional. This is not to down anybody out there. I'm just trying to tell you that I cracked the coconut. That's it.
100% truth. That's it. And all scientifically proven. It's not wacky-dacky doody stuff.
I've got science for everything that I have. And when I'm going to put up right behind me my digestive tract chart, my poo chart, and I'll be on here on Zoom live, and it will actually work, right, Gad? And then guess what? I will be, you can come on and you can challenge me. I'm going to go through this whole thing, and I'm going to show you that 98% of all diseases caused from root rot, and 100% of all diseases caused because you've got dysfunctional, toxic beliefs that aren't yours, but you think they're yours, and you think that you're as good as you can be, the best you can be, but you can't be that way when you've got twisted, toxic beliefs that were programmed into you so that we could let the same people that created the V and created the invisible C so that they could take us down and harvest us. End of story. That's it.
That's right.
That's it. Yeah. Okay? And hold on a second here. I just got told we're giving everybody the wrong link. Is that true? For the flying thing. 1 second. No, I guess it is the right link. Anyways, and the other thing is that I'll just tell you something we are working on. I believe in one love. I believe in one law. And one love means self-love first. And one law means unconditional self-love first. Because how could you teach anybody how to love themselves if you couldn't do it yourself? And the reality is I started talking like this, and I have a gentleman on here right now, and you know what he wants me to do? He wants me to fly Bob Marley's son, who looks like Bob Marley and sings like Bob Marley, and help get the Wailers to come back, and then we'll have them sing here and actually go live at the World Healing Center. And we're in negotiations right now to bring him here, to get him out of Jamaica.
How cool.
Yeah. So anyways, these are the fun things that we do, okay? It's like this. If it's outrageous, I want to know about it, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody works together, and we all have different ideas, and we all find out different things from different people, and we all come together. And Daryl's just, it's wonderful to have Daryl here because he's been going through all this forever, and we can just sort out so many different things together and make this community what Daryl dreamed of, but now what we all dream of. Like, we come here with this dream, and then we start to realise that this community, well, for me, I've never been in a community like it, and I know that the majority of people I speak to have never either. So it's building a community of just incredible healers and wonderful people and fun
and understand
every day.
Something. These are not people. These people don't come here. They're not followers.
No.
They come to be leaders. I am not their leader. Okay? Am I?
No.
Not at
But
all.
you're the one that gave us the inspiration to learn truth, to learn about our bodies, to learn about health, to learn about being happy and loving ourselves. I never knew that all I cared about was loving my husband. 35 years of just my husband was number one when it should have been me. I didn't know that. I knew I was important, but I always thought my husband come first. It was just the way I thought.
Here's something for everybody to think about here. Who in the heck do these so-called authoritarians think they are in telling you that you can't live your dream, that you can't have freedom? Who do they think they are? Okay, let me tell you something. They are so scared of us. That's why they had to build a military. That's why they have to get the police behind them. That's why they have to brainwash everyone, because they don't have the spine. Let me tell you something. That's why that they've taken 250 years to prepare for what's going on right now, because they know that they are powerless compared to us. Okay?
Totally.
I don't see them coming on talking like this. No. They hide in the shadows, okay? And that's the bottom line. They get people to come and do their work. What kind of people? People that are programmed, and they say, I'm just doing my job. Okay,
Yeah, well,
really?
Yeah,
Is that
your
what you're doing?
your conscience won't be clear if you're just doing your job. It doesn't
Really?
work that way.
Yeah. I'm just selling myself. That's what they said. All right, is there anybody else that has any questions?
The second Irene?
Machon. Oh, well, no, it looks like Machon is up now.
Okay.
But the second Irene can be next. We just need her to pop her hand up next. Machon, go ahead. Huh? I can't see you, but I can hear you. That's a good start. And now I
There
can
she
see
is.
you.
Hello.
Hi, Machon. Now I'm going to have to ask you to make your questions not too long, because nobody can hear you on all the other platforms. We can't figure this out. Did you have any luck getting in touch with Drake or Sean to find out why, Gad?
No.
Did you get in touch with Drake yet?
No.
Come here.
I've been trying to figure it out.
1 second. Call Drake video. Here you go.
Calling Drake video.
Okay, go have a conversation with him. Okay? And figure it out. No, sit over there. That's okay. All right. Okay, so go ahead, love.
Call Drake video on
Sure.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
Making a video call to Drake video with WhatsApp.
Sweetie, I'm sorry, but there's nobody else that can hear you. It's only us. So we have to make it short. You always wanted to be a healthcare practitioner, okay. A professor at Columbia, and what did he tell you? So the professor says you're too old to become a health practitioner. Well, understand something. Got to understand something, love. Everybody means well, but a lot of people have really dysfunctional beliefs. And remember something, I can only give you what I've been taught. And remember something, a professor has gone to a government accredited school for how long? And if you've gone to a government accredited school for a long time, you are going to walk like a duck and you're going to talk like a duck, and it's not his fault, okay? All right, sweetie. Well, I know, but he did discourage you, but guess what? Maybe you weren't ready, because it shouldn't have taken just that to discourage you. So now let's get your game on. You're never too old, girl. Do you want to know something? Why don't you tell how old some of the people have been in the course? What about?
Oh, well, Stephen.
How old?
He was.
How old,
he's
Stephen?
80.
80.
80 something.
80 something.
Yeah. There's there's been surprisingly quite a few of the older generation, sort of in their 70s, and it's amazing. They all improve.
And how about 16 years old too?
Oh yeah, we've got some really amazing.
So
young
understand
ones.
something. If you think that that becoming aware, waking up, becoming a practitioner is for the elite, or it's for somebody that's this age or that age, let me just tell you something. What kind of rules do we have here?
None.
We don't have rules. Rules are for fools, and we're not fools, and we will not be ruled. Okay.
Yeah, and we even had one of the really youngins, like
Yeah.
really, I think she was 12 or 13.
Yeah, she sat in on the course because everybody's allowed to sit in on the course. Listen, how old do you have to be to want to wake up? Seriously. We should put a limit on that?
No.
Okay. And then people say, Dr. Wolf, I don't have any health background. And I go, that's great. Okay. We can start with we can start with a clean slate. Okay. So the reality is that you can come and understand, we have medical doctors, we have nurses, we have people that have been doing massage therapists that have been massage therapists for 30 years, and then they come and then they really turn on.
And they are totally blown away and go,
Yeah.
I knew there was something that just didn't quite fit, but I just didn't know. But because I'd done all the training and spent a fortune on my course, on learning and going to college, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like this, and please don't get me wrong, but I have a massage therapist, and they'll go, yeah, I've been working with this for so long, this long, and then we teach them, and then they go, oh wow, I reversed that knee problem in 15 minutes. That's right. It's a scar tissue, displaced calcium, crystallization issue. You cannot massage a problem out of people. If you're not increasing circulation, bringing down inflammation, getting the calcium back into the bones, and turning the scar tissue back into connective tissue, then you're not doing anything. Right. All right. But listen, you can come and you can tell your story even next time, because then people can actually hear. We just can't do the stories. I love stories. Good for you.
Wonderful.
Keep learning. Stop burning. Stop burning. That's what they want. Start learning how beautiful you are.
Yep.
Okay? That's it.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm looking forward to seeing you again without your glasses on.
Yeah. Do you know why people wear glasses? Because they have dark circles under their eyes. Do you know why they have dark circles under their eyes? Because their poop chute is blocked and they've been backing up against their liver. So now they have black circles. So we still need this girl to learn how to love herself. That's it.
I've got mine on for 2 reasons. Mine's predominantly, though, mine are Tesla glasses.
They're
so it
Tesla.
protects me from the radiation of all the lights and
Yeah.
screens and stuff.
Yeah, mine are over there. You want to grab them for me? So these are all Tesla glasses, so that you know when we wear them, they're not sunglasses.
And Daryl's lucky because he's got a whole array of different styles.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting some more different styles eventually. I've just got these.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, love. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look at the Facebook comments. Can you bring the Facebook comments up, please?
Yeah.
Have you been able to find out what's wrong?
We are trying to figure that out.
Okay, keep working on it. Is there somebody on Zoom? Let's see if somebody on Zoom has a question. But you can't come on Zoom today and tell me a story. You got to ask me a question.
Yeah, Taylor has a question. If I can.
Aaron, go ahead, Aaron. How you doing? Am I going to be covering the Cellsonic in January and February? Oh gosh, yeah. I'm actually going to be demonstrating the Cellsonic in 9 days on live. We're going to do it live, but we're going to be taking everybody through all the different. When you come here, we're going to take you through and show you all the different strategies on what. When you come to your next course here, and we're going to show you. Okay, so if you come with this condition, what we're going to do is we would do the Wolf non-surgical first to pull the scar tissue apart. Then we would do the Cellsonic. Then we would do the cardiovascular bed along with the Avicin and the Bioptron. If you had, let's say, a different condition, maybe we would only be doing this and this. We're going to show what we do in the different conditions that we do. So
And-
we're going to do that.
And before you come, it's best to do a perfect day consultation with one of us practitioners.
Aaron has already been
So
here.
no, I
Yeah,
realise that.
okay.
I'm just talking for
Sure.
everybody else.
Yeah.
So that you can get prepared and start doing the perfect day before you come. It just makes it a lot easier for you.
Yes. So here's the deal. Anybody that comes here for a personal treatment and training, like we have families coming, couples coming, and they'll actually come to learn how to work on each other, to love each other, care for each other. We want them to do a consultation before they get here to start getting in the groove of what a perfect day looks like, feels like, drinking, eating, thinking. If you're coming here to take one of our courses, we want to do a perfect day consultation. And what happens is when you do the consult, you'll pay $150. After you finish your personal treatment and training, or after you finish your course, we actually give you $150 in product. So the reality is we're trying to promote you to get going here, okay? So you can see that it's a win-win for you, okay? And the reality is when people don't want to do a perfect day consult and they come for a course, they're sitting there going like this, oh, well, what?
Yeah.
And then the reality is if you can bring down your inflammation and you can dump that toxic load, you'll have more energy, you'll smile more, you'll be open more for, wow, yeah, I do get that. I understand. I did do that for that 3 weeks or that 1 month or that 2 months before I came. I did the perfect day. And I'll tell you, thank God I did, because I'm ready to just tear it up.
And the brain function will be so much better as well.
Yeah, so that's why-
It's a phenomenal difference.
That's why we do that.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why we do that. All right, is there anybody else on Zoom? Can you help me out there, Gad?
Taylor, she had a question.
Taylor, go ahead. Did you unmute her?
She has to unmute herself.
Taylor, if you have a question, you can unmute yourself.
Ask her to unmute her.
Okay, is there anybody else, or should we just move to Facebook? Let's go to Facebook.
Just go down, yeah.
Okay, if anybody has any questions on Facebook or YouTube, you can put them on now. Okay, I'm
Crying a lot.
Okay, replying to Jill. Great question. I'm weaning off and I'm feeling feelings. I'm crying a lot, but it's so cathartic to get it out. I also feel other emotions that haven't existed for years, like happiness. That's a blessing to me. Bless you on your journey. If I could just say this, there's nothing wrong with crying. It's called melting the iceberg. But if you keep crying over the same issue, then guess what? You're insane and you've got a miserable life ahead of you. Okay? Because you're not having any breakthroughs, you're just having breakdowns. So understand something. Most people will create a program. The crying does relieve. It's like the whale blowing out its snout, or the kettle going woo. I mean, you got to get the pressure off. But the reality is that who put the pressure there?
Yeah.
You did.
Not wrong.
Unknowingly, you did with the beliefs and programs you don't even know you're running. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Let's get to the, as long as we're getting to the point where we're crying tears of joy, okay? Because if you keep crying tears of misery, sadness, loneliness, then guess what? That's just insanity. Can you mute somebody, please? Okay. Sharon, I'm going to do wonderful self-care. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Okay.
There's opinion on the fruitarian diet. Opinion on a fruitarian diet.
First of all, if I can say this, some people, it would be good to do a fruitarian diet, but just let's look at things. If I eat root vegetables, it's because I need to root myself in. I need to get grounded. If I eat a fruitarian diet, that's high up in the trees. If I'm already scattered or have anxiety, a fruitarian diet will blow my body apart. If I'm like a slug and I can't move and I have no energy, you also aren't moving your bowels either. Fruit is a laxative, but you know, it takes a certain personality to become a fruitarian. And I'll tell you something right now, I would never become a fruitarian, but I love doing blender drinks. So let's get that really clear. I know people that have become fruitarians and they've wasted away. So you want to be a fruitarian, you go ahead, but you better make sure that you are emotionally balanced, because if you're not eating root vegetables or things that are grown on the ground, okay, then you're not grounding yourself. If you're already flighty in your head, because understand something, food creates different frequencies in the body. And that's what we want to understand. We use foods to create the emotional balance that we need. That's why people will start off with fruit in the morning, first thing. Easy to digest, doesn't take any energy. You want to be a little bit more awake. You're better to do intermittent fasting and then open your day up around 11 or 12 o'clock with a blender drink made out of fruit. And don't be mixing 20 different things in there. You will not digest it. It will not be well for you. I never put more than 3 things in my drink, and that's it. So you need to get that. I might put a little bit of black gold, some magnesium in there. I might put some other nutritional things, but I do not usually put more than what? Coconut milk, organic berries of some sort, usually strawberries. I love them. I love the strawberry shake.
Me too.
And then guess what? If I feel I need more grounding, I'll throw in 1 or 2 raw eggs if I really feel I need that.
Yep.
And the more
That's my favorite.
I go on, the less I need the eggs. But people will go, oh my God, I don't want to get salmonella. Well, you're not going to get them. That's the crock that they made so that you don't do it.
Another lie.
Yeah, another lie. So you would get salmonella if you made the blender drink and let it sit in the hot sun for the afternoon. But who does that? You make a blender drink and you drink it, or you keep it cold.
Yep.
End of story. So no, fruitarian, schmarian. Okay, let's just use our heads. Okay, I could put somebody who's overweight, somebody who's not, their bowels aren't moving. Okay, because fruit is a high frequency, and we need to get things moving, and we need to get that block. But once the person's moving, let's slow it down a little bit, move to the vegetables, okay, and then let's get a person who's like just feeling like they're going to be blown away by emotion. We should probably get them grounded, don't you think? Get them rooted in, root vegetables, right?
And the meat, because we were talking about the meat side of things earlier on at the show, where I don't think a lot of people would have heard about that, but meat has got no frequency. So it's dead. It can't give you anything for healing. So...
And understand that all meat has to be broken down into an amino acid. Your body can only take an amino acid. It doesn't take in protein. Your body does not take in protein. It takes in amino acids. So I'm not telling you to not eat animal protein. So if you're going to, let's see if you could cut it down to half the size. Let's see if you could chew it every piece until it's a liquid. See if you can drink your meat. You chewed it so much that you can drink it. So,
And I did it over... Oh, said sorry. I did it over a period of 2 years. Like, it took me a while because I've been eating meat every day, 2-3 times a day for my whole life. You know, it's not an easy thing to just switch off. And so I did that, and I just made the portions smaller and smaller. And then as my body came from bad bacteria to good bacteria, I didn't even want it anymore because I didn't like the taste. It actually changes how you taste, the taste thing.
You can
It's
be
amazing.
conditioned to eat anything.
Yeah.
Like we don't.
Yeah.
Some people eat everything, right? Gad, can I have my phone back if you're not using it? Thank you.
So ultimately, you can wean yourself off anything if you don't want to do it whole hog
Yeah.
immediately. You
Yeah.
can just wean yourself. But the perfect day diet is not vegan. Okay, it's not a vegetarian diet because vegetarians generally, a lot of them eat a lot of carbs, which is pasta, bread,
crackers, peanut butter, fake cheese,
corn,
fake meat.
lots of white potato, all that sort of stuff. That's all high carb stuff, which we're not meant to eat high carb.
No.
So, you know, that being vegetarian is not necessarily healthier than eating meat either. So, you know, go figure.
Okay, so here's one. I'm just going through Facebook right now, guys. And if you can, then there's another one here. I'll get that one next, okay? Hi, I have a question. This is from Anna. Hi, Anna. How you doing? Hey, Gad. So once that show is done, try and see if you can update. Did you hear me, Gad? You needed to update probably. That's why we can't get them. Okay?
I think so.
Can you always make sure that you do an update, Gad?
Yeah, I'll do that.
From now on, like every week. Update. Okay?
Oh, you mean the program? Update the program.
Well, if he updated
okay.
Zoom, okay,
I
then,
see.
then we wouldn't
I see
have
what you're
lost
saying.
everybody.
Yep.
So I want you to put a sticky note on the computer,
I'll just
update once a week.
And a reminder.
it?
Yeah, or a reminder on your phone, whatever
That's
you
it.
prefer.
Putting the sticky note right here.
Yep.
I know, I need it. So Anna,
Love sticky notes.
hi, I have a question. What would be causing my left foot having my toes to go tingling and I get fungal infection on my left foot only? Well,
Know what that is.
okay, here we go. Are you ready for this? What's on the left side? The poop chute. Okay, so now we've got on your right side, it's called the cecum, and it goes up the ascending colon underneath the liver. Then it goes the transverse colon over to the left. Then it comes down the descending colon to the sigmoid, and then the rectum anus. And guess what? You've been constipated. No, I'm not. I go to the washroom. No, you don't. You don't go like I go.
No.
Okay? You know, how many people do you poop with? You fly down here and we'll poop together for a week and we'll find out if you're really...
And it's so funny because we all talk about pooping now. It's so bizarre because we're so proud of ourselves when we get out of our dysfunctional belief systems and realise how well we heal.
Yeah. So
And we poop properly, and we all talk about it because we're just so excited.
what's the only thing that the elites can do to us? Constipate us on an emotionally and physically level so that we have stinking thinking and we're rotten to the core.
And guess what? When you get healthy, like I'm now inside, you don't smell anymore. You don't have underarm problems. You don't have poo. Like, you don't smell when you do a number
And you
two.
know-
I'm serious. No smell.
And
nothing.
guess what else? And when you've done this and you've had a whole plant-based perfect day diet long enough, and you're going to go, no way. I
Yes
don't
way.
use soap. I don't use soap. Okay,
No,
I
don't either.
I wash and shower like everybody else, but I don't have to use soap, stinky.
I use
Okay.
structured water. That's it. I don't
That's
even
it.
use coconut. I used to use coconut oil soap.
Yeah.
I don't even use that anymore. Just structured water. That's it.
Yeah, you know what? Just because, okay, here it is. Just because nobody else is doing it doesn't make it wrong.
That's
Just
it.
because everybody else is doing it doesn't make it right.
right.
Just because the majority of the population is ready to end their lives right
Mm-hmm.
now doesn't make it right. Do you think that makes it right? Okay, all right. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm just trying to say it's wake up time.
Yep.
Okay.
It is.
All right. Anyways, let's go back to this. So I just want you to know that yes, you do go to the washroom every day, but it's not what comes out, it's what stays in. Okay. That's the next thing. And the only reason why you have fungal infection on your left foot is because guess what? So that's called leaky gut. So I guarantee you, Anna, that you did antibiotics, and you also probably take in cheese and dairy and animal products that have antibiotics in them. And those antibiotics went into you, and they take the yeast that's in your large intestine and make it into fungus, and then the fungus actually drills holes through your intestines. Why does fungus drill hole in my intestines, Dr. Wolf? Because what happens is antibiotics turn on the death vibration, and what happens is when we are dying, like we are actually dying, and we're going to, not dying, but the body is dying, and we're ready to leave the body is dying, okay, the fungus moves in because guess what? It goes in and eats up your body, you know, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, you know, go to the bathroom before you bust, right? So what happens is that the yeast turns into fungus. They're called drill bit predators. They drill holes through your intestine. Now you're pooping into your pelvis. But not just that. The fungus that used to be yeast that was in your large intestine that we call Candida albicans, and now you can say that you have systemic candidiasis fungus throughout your whole body because now you've got a bowel that's like a screen door in a submarine. So now what happens is when you start to have fungus infections in your toes, that is a precancerous state. And I'll tell you something right now. Anybody that has toe fungus, okay, I would say at least 95, 98% of them will leave this planet because of cancer. Because cancer is a fungus, but cancer is a parasite too, and cancer is also, we know, is created because of lack of oxygen, okay? All right, that's why Dr. Otto Warburg received the Nobel Prize twice for proving that lack of oxygen causes cancer, because what happens is the fungus goes in, suffocates the cells no longer can get the oxygen, so now they say we gotta live off of what? Sugars. So they gotta live off of sugars and lactic acid. And then the cancer cells will make lactic acid to feed their little babies. So the reality is, yeah, we got to go back to the source, right? And that's why Thursday, 10 o'clock, it's called Get the Cork Out, Flush the Pounds, Lighten the Load. Okay, and understand, the reason why we do that and to detoxify is you got to go to the root of the problem, which is the major part of your immune system, which is your large intestine, which is 85% of your immune system. Did you know that? I didn't say that. The Royal Society of Medicine, which is the medical system of Great Britain, said that, okay? And once we do that and we get the cork out, just like if you took the cork out of the tub, you can start to drain the water. So what we do is we detoxify from the bottom up, okay, from the inside out. So her skin problem and the fungus is now leaving here because it's left here. When you have a skin problem, it's because, guess what? My cup overfloweth. People that have eczema and psoriasis, those are fungal problems. Yes?
That's a good question from Dylan.
What?
Why is it our hair dies on the top of our head but not the sides, back and face?
Okay. On the top of our head, because it's all about circulation. It's the furthest point. So that's why I tell everyone to clap. I don't think I have a clapper in here. So, but take a look at my website because you want to start clapping. And if you're losing your hair or your hair is going gray, then understand that's mineral deficiency. But the circulation is why you lose your hair. Okay, all right. What else was I going to say? There was something. Let me think. I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
But ultimately what you were talking about before, so the lady who has the, you know, the fungus and the numbness, so I had all that in my right foot, and it's
Okay,
all
so
gone
now,
completely now.
in the right foot,
It's completely gone.
We would have a cecum problem.
Yep.
But understand, now let's not just blame it on the large intestine, and I'll tell you why. Did you ever have a problem right here in the SI joint, right there?
Oh yeah.
So the SI joint, what I want everyone to do is put your hand behind your back, feel where your kidneys are underneath your ribs, and come down just a little further to where your sacrum is, and then go just about an inch and a half out from your spine on either side, and you'll feel, you know those two dimples or those two little bump bones? You can feel them. Well, that's called the SI joint. Now here's the part you're going to love the most. So what happens is when you have a problem with your hip and you have drop foot or you have a sciatica problem, what you do is you go to a chiropractor. He adjusts you, and guess what? It comes back within days. 24, 48 hours.
Yep.
First time you hit the brakes on the car, it's coming back. Because there's scar tissue and crystallization wrapped around the SI joint. And you get in there and you clean that out, and that's what we teach you. And guess what? It's gone. And there's the trick. That's why you keep on going back to the chiropractor. Let me tell you something. If you keep going back to the same person for the same problem, then that person doesn't know what they're doing. They're getting and they're giving you relief, which is, pain management. Who in the heck wants pain management? I want pain gone.
Yeah. I had pain management for 30 years, and now I don't. So every year I went for a massage or the chiropractor over and over again. Spent an absolute fortune, as you can imagine, over all those years. And I have not had a massage now in 4 months because I've had my non-surgical work done on my sacrum and my...
Can you tell them what
the
non-surgical is, because they may not know?
Okay, non-surgical is the treatment that we get trained with our beautiful elbows, and we go in there and we get in and we break down all the crystallization.
No, we don't break it down, we melt it down.
Oh, melt
So
it
what
down.
we do is let's say, okay, first of all, you start off with all your muscle fibers have blood, lymph, and they have energy flowing, which would be your spirit energy, right? Right? You're only as healthy as the energy you have, right? Okay. So now, you've got all this flow here. Then what happens is every time that you get stressed out, you contract, you eat something that is glicky sticky, you become glicky sticky. Every time you inflame yourself and you don't stay calm, stay connected to your breath, you contract. So now I contract the fibers together. Eventually those fibers become like as if you took crazy glue and glued them. Then what happens is just like a burger on the barbecue, the heat gets turned up, which is your mental stress and your diet's creating a riot, okay, of inflammation and acidity. You start to have shrinkage. Yeah, people go, oh, I've shrank. I'm an inch shorter. No, you're not. You didn't shrink. The discs in between your vertebrae have dehydrated. And guess what? If you come for 1 hour to 1 hour and a half of non-surgical work, we'll put you back to the same heights that you had when you were in your 20s. How's that? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay.
And I'm nearly 2 centimetres taller since getting the work done as well.
Beauty.
Who'd have thought?
And 2 centimeters is what? An inch.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're shrinking. Okay, so now it's like a knot. Oh, I have a knot here. I have a knot here. I have a knot here. I have a knot in my breast. I have a knot everywhere. So understand something. We can untie the knots and we can open up the fibers and we can restore you back to your youth. And what a crock out there. Listen to me. Natural health, medical health, there's so many therapies that, they're watered down. They help to buffer down a little bit, but they don't relieve the problem. There was a lady on here, this got to be the last question because it's almost 2 o'clock. There was a lady that asked about her silicone implants. Now understand something. Of course, silicone's not good for you, but it's not just that. Even if it doesn't leak, it's an irritation. Think about it. Do you ever have a sliver in your finger? Well, look you got 2 big slivers right up here. Now, here's the deal. If you ever get the silicone implants out, you're going to have to get them to take the scar tissue casing that's around them, because that's what your body does. It makes a bunch of scar tissue around the implant to protect you against leaking into your body. So that's got to come out too. It doesn't matter. If you have a cesarean, you've had any surgery, you've got scar tissue left, you've got to have a Wolf non-surgical therapist take it apart. And I know you don't believe me. You think I'm marketing to you right now. I'm not. I guarantee you that if you had a cesarean, that your lovemaking will be bad, you'll have bladder infections, you won't digest properly because of the adhesions that are wrapping around your small, large intestine, blocking your gallbladder, blocking your stomach. Have we said enough yet? So now let's go to when you get the breast implants out, you're gonna have to go in here and you're gonna have to work on the breast area and work on opening up the ribs and the lungs to get your breath back. Okay?
And we've had quite a few people coming and doing the courses and getting theirs done, and helping them to melt it all down, not break. Melt
Actually,
it all
open
down.
it up. So what we do is people go, well, what happens to all that scar tissue? Well, no, it comes back into beautiful connective tissue. What does scar tissue lack? Oxygen, blood supply, and nutrition, and energy. That's called your spirit energy. Look at, okay, so a thick wall. Can I get a better or worse signal through a thick wall? Worse signal. So do you think that the signals and your spirit energy can move through a body that's full of scar tissue? No. That's why you'll always find not always, a lot of times, correct yourself, Daryl, watch it. When they do a biopsy, that's where you'll find the cancer to come back. That wherever they do the surgery to take out the fibroid or the tumor, it's right beside it that you'll find it'll come back, because they didn't get rid of the scar tissue, because surgery causes more scar tissue than anything else, my friend. Okay. All right. So go ahead.
So quickly, someone asked about scoliosis. Mine's completely gone. It was the first thing that went. So I had that as well. I had like a list a mile long, and
Scoliosis can be completely reversed.
Absolutely.
And we have them so bad that they're S's coming here.
Yep.
So that's it. Now, you're not going to believe it, and it doesn't matter. Don't really care if you do or not. Don't care what you think, because most people don't think. They only think what they're taught to think, and it's not your fault.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, it is. I give the money back guarantee. Do the other practitioners do that? I'll give you a money back guarantee that the first time you come with your scoliosis, I don't care how, I do care about you, but I don't care how bad it is, I will work on you one time and you'll see a noticeable difference in the S. It won't be a mess. And you'll see it and you'll feel it. And you'll see the way you walk. And understand something, and you don't have to believe this, but we're working on a lady right now, and she's in a wheelchair here. And when she first came here, she's been in the wheelchair so long that I told her we wouldn't work on her for the first 6 weeks. And I had her going into the pool because guess what? Because in the pool, she doesn't have to have all that body weight because she had no muscle tone. You can't be, she gave up on her life. She's in a wheelchair too long. You get atrophy, no muscle tone. She went into the pool. They're working her every day, 20 minutes twice a day. So now we started doing the non-surgical. So now she's actually getting range of motion in her knees and her hips and her spine. The other day, it took about 20 minutes to a half an hour to get her on the table to do the Cellsonic. Cellsonic puts out 25,000 volts, but in a love harmonic. And are you ready for this? I just want everybody to understand something. They are trying to mess this world up so bad. Did you know that Cellsonic just went up $22,000 last night in price?
Wow.
To buy one, because the chips, they can't get the chips, and people are out there bidding on chips. They can't even get enough chips for building the cars now.
Wow.
So now it went up $22,000 yesterday. I'm not making that up. So and the gentleman that makes them said, and the way things are going, they might go up another $15,000 in 2 months. So here's the deal. Don't tell me they're trying to squeeze everybody everywhere. So that's what happens when you are not sovereign, when you do not work for yourself, when you do not think for yourself, when you are not your own practitioner. You will be ruled, schooled, and fooled. Anyway, so we did the Cellsonic on her, and you can believe it or not believe it, but I'm sure she'll come on. And my new studio, I've got 3 new studios I'm building here, okay, so that we can have really great interviews with people. Are you ready for this? They worked on her spine for 10 minutes with the Cellsonic, puts out 25,000 volts in a love harmonic into her spine. She picked herself up on the table. Everybody in the room just went. That was a 10-minute treatment. So I just want to leave you with this. Everything is about energy. Everybody that you know that is dying or sick has no energy. So understand something. We are light energy, electrical magnetic beings. What if I told you I know how to put the energy into your body to override the sickness? What if I told you that when we do a thermography on someone, we can do a Cellsonic treatment and that person has a situation that people call out their cancer? It's not our fault. We'll do another thermography within 24 to 48 hours, and we can't find the cancer. So understand something. We are light energy beings. Everything you eat, everything you drink will bring in some level of light and electricity. Every supplement you take it for the electrical charge. Every emotion that you have is either sucking you of your electrical charge or it's giving you one. A smile, it makes you feel better, makes you feel more energetic. It'll heal you.
Absolutely.
A frown, do you feel like you got more energy or are you down? Do you have to understand something? For someone to be on medication for depression, do you know how hard you have to work to be depressed? So why do people get depressed? I want to leave with this with you. Because they have so much anxiety. Because somebody rules their brain. So the reality is, the more anxiety you have, the more you inflame your brain. The more you inflame your brain goes, I can't take this anymore, all this inflammation. I'm going to shut it down. So it shuts down the brain, and that's what you call depression. Why are you depressed? I don't know why I'm depressed. Well, because you terrorized yourself and you didn't know it on a subconscious level because you've been programmed by the rest of your family that terrorizes themselves. I'm going to leave you with that, but I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. And we're going to be here talking about strategies and tips to thrive the new year, okay? And we'll be on Zoom again. And you know what? It'll probably even work if we update it. And you know what? I'm just kidding around because how would Gad know? Okay, so I just want you to know. Gad, come around here, please. I want everybody to see who screwed up today's show. Okay, so I want you to understand something. This guy is, come on down. This guy is amazing. He's 16 years old. He came on with us 3 weeks ago. And Sean right now is on holiday. And if it wasn't for Gad, there'd be no show. Yeah. I wouldn't show up. Okay, so I just want to thank you, my friend.
Hey, thank
okay,
you. Good on you, mate.
All right, God bless you.
Love your work.
All right, so here's the deal. Okay, we showed up. Okay, we hit a bump in the road, and I hope you had fun. I think we got it done.
Definitely had a ball.
All right.
I'm glad I ran here.
Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I got this.
You got this, Braveheart. God bless. You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it.
Found Dr. Wolf and all his positivity and trying to reshape our way of thinking and help me be a better person, a better mom, better wife. I'm glad I found him in person in Ixtapa, Mexico.
Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited.
This guy's got something really interesting to say and he's sharing it really openly and just really not caring what other people think, and I just thought that was really empowering.
What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time.
Dr. Wolf, as many people will have seen, is very direct and straight and will take you to the edge of the cliff, as he says, and then pull you back just in time.
Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite.
He's a wealth of information, and I love it.
You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together.
I found Dr. Wolf and I went, wow, here's a truth speaker. And he spoke to my soul and he spoke truth.
So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the Whole Life Coach certification is all about. In the Whole Life Coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners or even so-called whole life coaches that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your lion heart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart and we're going to become the spark that you seek.
And actually what I really love about Dr. Wolf's teachings is that unconditional love is literally it. And then you're like, how can it be that easy? That's just silly. So, but it's really not.
Come play, come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in, because
how I found my Braveheart was through Daryl. He really teaches you to go within and go in through your heart and not your mind, because your heart's a lot more connected to so much more than your mind. Your mind is just so conditioned and your heart is just so open and beautiful.
You're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win.
I had just lost my husband a couple of years ago. With his passing, he gave me the greatest gift to love myself. But Dr. Wolf gave me the greatest gift in understanding that.
I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited, because this is your life.
He's the first doctor that I have encountered that has truly given me the truth, and not just half-truths, but the full truth. So it's been revolutionary for me in my healing process.
And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams, and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days, or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line, and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money, because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life, and that's my guarantee to you.